This is the mission of Jesus. This is what he did, right? From the very first day, when he began preaching, this is what he talked about. He said, I have come to reveal to you the kingdom of God, which is coming into the world, and it's among you. And he has this very specific task, right? It's actually kind of a difficult proposition. He says, I've come to preach the kingdom of God. All right, well, where is it? Where is the kingdom of God? He's actually talking about something invisible. He's talking about something that can't be seen, that we don't get to take and observe under a microscope. And he has to find a way to teach us, to reveal to us about the things that we can't see. Because when he came to build a kingdom, he didn't say, obviously. He never said, I'm here to build walls and castles. I'm here to raise an army. I'm here to bring about a new kind of politics. I'm here to establish, a new economy. None of those things were his words. And so as he does his ministry, he's inviting people into something that isn't seen, but inviting people into something which is unseen. Because the kingdom of God is principally a transformation of the heart of mankind. So I don't look at you and say, oh, this is where the kingdom of God is in you. I can see that. Yeah, you're doing great. And you can't see that in me, at least not in a direct way, right? We only get a chance to see it from the outside, as it were. And so Jesus uses, for example, today, when he's like, how can I explain this to you? What's this like? How can we wrap our heads around this? Well, it's kind of like a seed, right? It's kind of like scattering something into the earth. Now, we can see the top of the soil, right? We can kind of walk around it. We can describe it. We can feel it. We can touch it. But we all know that the magic of the soil is in the process that is hidden from us and beyond our ability to control. The only thing that we can do is literally fall asleep and wake up and watch it happen on its own. This is a lot of how the process of the kingdom of God bears fruit, right, in the life of any human heart. If you and I, perhaps haven't studied botany and, aren't a geologist or never been a gardener. If we've never known a thing from this seed or that seed, and if I were to place a seed in the palm of your hand and say, you tell me what's going to happen. You tell me what that's going to look like. Show me, tell me, explain to me what's going to happen after you plant this seed in the ground. None of us would be able to look at that seed and say, all right, let me tell you what's going to happen. Here's what it's going to look like. This is what's going to be produced from it. Right? This seed might produce a great oak tree. Maybe it's going to be a flower. Maybe it's going to be a fruit tree or a bush. Perhaps this is going to give you a vine. Look, you just don't know what's going to happen. And you don't actually have control, right, over the life inside of that seed. All we have is a bare kernel that's going to look nothing at all in size or shape or product as the final outcome. The difference between the bare kernel and the final mature tree, it's like there is no comparison. There is no prediction. There's nothing that we could say, oh, I'm going to put this under a microscope and say, here's what's going to happen next. And so when we when we receive the kingdom of God, we have to contend, right, with this truth about our lives, about the fact that there is only so much that we are able to do, and the rest is literally up to God. Jesus says the land produces fruit, produces the grain of its own accord. And we sleep and we rise, and it grows before us, we know not how.